Hey, it's Dorleen. Welcome to my channel and welcome to my creative life. I'm working on a 2-page layout today. As you notice, if you are a subscriber, I do a lot of 2-page spreads. It just works better that way in my scrapbook, but I'm on Christmas, as you can tell. I love this paper line by My Mind's Eye. I was gifted it from somebody sometime somewhere, but I know it's been in my stash for a long time. If you're like me, you know you've got a lot of Christmas stash too. So it's really good to go through the papers and just use them. So what I did is I grabbed that really beautiful olive green cardstock for my base, and I'm cutting 3 different pattern papers at 3 inches each, and I'm going to put them so that they flow from left to right, so you know that it's a 2-page spread. Now, I recently bought a new cutter, but at this point I didn't. So you'll notice a lot of this paper is kind of fuzzy at the ends, and you're going to see me right here just kind of give them a trim. Folks, this is why I bought a new trimmer. So I was at a crop and somebody had the Creative Memories paper trimmer. And, I mean, the way I look at it, right, one trimmer is the same as the other. Well, people were swearing by it. So I kind of played around with it. Now, guess what happened next? Fell in love with it. Had to have it. So I thought, you know what? It's a good investment. I use my paper trimmer all the time. I buy these cheapo ones. Not that this Spellbinders one was cheap. It's probably good quality, and it definitely was a lot better than some of the other ones I had. But yeah, that Creative Memories one is fabulous. If you don't have a Creative Memories consultant and need somebody, leave me a message. I'd be glad to share with you the name of mine. But anyhow, it's a little expensive, but it's definitely worth it. And I'll get into that later. So the 3 strips, like you can see, I just layered them right on top of each other. So technically it's like a 9x9 square there. So I cut them down just a little bit smaller so that I can have a little bit of paper over on that left side. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing, but on the right side of the paper. And then I'm going to have that gap over on the right side. Oh, no. Look at, good thing I watched these things. I decided to do this one completely 12 inches. So these strips were 3x12, where on the other side, on the left side of the page, they were 3x9. So it just gives a little bit of interest and something a little different. And I just butt that left side of the page over to the right, or against the right side. So that way I'm placing the pattern papers, at least in the same area. I always feel like it's never quite right, but it is in the same-ish place as the other strips on the other side. So I'm just kind of messing around. If you're like me, again, probably most of your pictures are 4x6, especially when they're big group shots like this. I do try to cut them down when I can, when there's extra fluff, if you want to call it that. But these were pretty full of, my family. So I kept them as 4x6, and I'm going to just go ahead and just put them in a way where I think looks good. Now, this is the family shot with everybody in it, so I really did want to mat that and make it really stand out. And so I have some, I think it's 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 inch papers that are already cut, and I got them at Hobby Lobby like forever ago, and they were on clearance because they were Christmas colors. But you know what? I use red a lot in other things. I use green a lot in a lot of other things, and definitely use white because there's all 3 of those colors. So I did decide to stick with the red. I thought about double matting it, but that just seems a little excessive. So you can see that I overlap the other 2 photos a little bit, just because now it's no longer 4x6, it's 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. Anyhow, actually they might be 4.5 by 6.5 now that I'm looking at it, but you can see what I'm talking about there. On the left side of the spread, I put those 2 photos diagonal, and then up on the top you can see photos kind of floating there. I'm going to end up using a flip flap so I can put all the photos on this 2-page spread. I didn't take a lot of photos, which is surprising because normally I just go nuts. So I'm thinking maybe I didn't feel well. Also, this is 2023, which if you know me personally, was a really tough Christmas for our family. So moving on, I just cut out a piece of white, and I'm going to use that for the journaling spot. These were stickers that came with the line. It's called Sleigh Bells, as you can see, or Sleigh Bells Ring, sorry. I was trying to look, 2014. So look at this thing is over 10 years old, but it's Christmas, green, red, those never go out of style. I just wanted to use the stickers there that I had. And so I'm just kind of grabbing one and stacking them. I'm just playing around with where I'm putting them. Because this is not a foo-foo page. It's really just let's get some photos on there. Of course, we're going to use embellishments. We have them. We must use them. And you saw those little pocket thing I brought out, or I guess I'd call it a pocket little bag. For some reason, they came with a bunch of little bags. Probably could use them for something else. Matter of fact, I did use some for Christmas treats last year. I thought maybe I can use it, and it just seemed too out there, so I didn't use it. But this is really pretty basic, and if you're looking at it, you're probably thinking, yeah, you know what, it is kind of basic, and I'm okay with that for the most part. But sometimes you just need a little more. So I had those scrap pieces because remember I trimmed those papers down. Now these are double-sided, which makes it even better because now I can add even more pattern, which you can see me doing here. And I'm going to put little banners everywhere, or everywhere the stickers are, I should say. And to make the fishtail banners, you can see I'm just I clipped up the middle, or I eyeballed where the middle was, and then I went to each corner and clipped up to where I put that slit. And I hope that makes sense. If not, rewind, put it on pause, watch it slow-mo, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But I hope you like this video. It's pretty simple layouts, but I do love it because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 photos because I'm going to use those flip-flops. And I love having multiple photos on my layouts. So again, pretty simple, not a lot going on, but you know what? Sometimes you need simple. I know sometimes I'll just go, I was going to say batshit crazy, but maybe not that crazy. But sometimes you add all the things and pretty soon you lose your picture, or you lose the whole, like, wait, what am I scrapbooking again? So I like keeping things simple when I can. Like I mentioned before, that's going to be the journaling spot. I'm going to draw some lines on there and just do a little quick journaling of, our family Christmas, or this is actually Christmas Eve, but still, it's our family Christmas time. This is with my in-laws family, and we always have a really good time. But again, I hope you like this video. If you do, give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I'd appreciate it, and I will get back to you. I do post at least 2 videos a week. One is always scrapbooking, and one is whatever it is I'm creating in the command center, which is the name of my craft room and also my blog. And that could just really be anything. So if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. I would appreciate it. And also the notification bell, because you can be notified of the videos, as I post them. So what I'm doing right now is, if you notice, one of the pictures that I'm going to put in the flip-flops is not a 4x6. I turned it down, or maybe I printed it at like a 4x4. So in the flip-flop pocket, I am going to use a 4x6 one because, first of all, I'm covering a 4x6 picture, and the other picture I have is 4x6. So I'm going to just cut that paper so I have a mat of 4x6, and then I trimmed the photo just a little bit, and now I'm taking one of the stickers. Now if you notice, it was like a from on there. Well, I don't need a from, so I just cut that part off, and then I overlap the edges so that I can cut out the little notches on the end and it would be even. So I'm just going to open that up again, and then I'm going to find room for it once I put down a little bit of white on this as well, because why not decorate it a little bit more just to have it stand out. I think it's super fun. It's not a whole lot either. It's just some white cardstock that was on my desk. I didn't even cut it in any way. I'm going to cut off the edge because obviously it's longer than 4 inches. But once I put the picture on and the stickers and all that, I'll trim that off. And when I do that label, again, I'm using my products and adding more to the page. So you see here, I'm going to cut it off just a little bit. I'm going to add it to the bottom. Isn't that fun? I don't know. I love it when I do stuff like this. To me, it's like, that's when you really get creative, is when you think outside the box. Sure, you can put a sticker down, but can you cut off the from and then offset the label and have 2 little decorations? Yeah, that takes a little bit of creativity. I'm obviously kidding. But anyhow, I hope you do like this video. And again, if you do, make sure you give me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And, here's the layouts. They flow nice and even. Looks so good. I appreciate you watching. Thanks again. Bye.